So today is almost a really specific healing, and it's actually to do with an earth update and an earth integration. So this healing has a lot of elements to it, and I'm going to read what I channeled. Okay. What I find is I don't get thrown around by energetics anymore. I once did. You will see that there is heightening times in the world, even with like lunar cycles. There's so many big shifts and changes currently happening that often if people are energetically sensitive, they will feel it and they will have a hard time. There's a lot of talk in spiritual communities about these things as well. It's almost like the earth energetic shift, or maybe these kind of new heightened multidimensional energies, or lots of different reasons for it. Once upon a time, I was across all of that. I don't feed into that now, which, yay, for me, makes my life more stable. But in saying that, when there's an update, I need to update, because then I'm not in alignment with almost like the new, I want to say almost like information or frequencies, or being in, clear connection with the earth. A lot of people will think they could just go to the earth and ground, but the thing is, you may have a lot of restrictions that present that, even though you think that you're earthing or grounding, there can be a lot of things that displace or create a slight interference to that. And one is like polarities in the body. So there's lots of different polarity points. We are electromagnetic, and so is the earth. So again, if these points are out of alignment, or maybe they're holding, I don't know, restrictions or issues. There can be many reasons. I'll talk soon more about why. It's like I'm not in free flow energetics, so I can't shift and change with the energetics shifting and changing. And often when there's these big shifts in the world, it's an opportunity to release trauma. Even like with lunar cycles, it will kind of activate energetic bodies or past life trauma or lots of different things. It's almost like we're being called to up level. And the way that we up level is we always have to be in alignment with our own soul's progression path. So I was channeling what I was going to do and how I would have the session flow. And then I was just thinking to myself, I could think all the time about just the interplays with the world and the earth and energetics. And then I'm kind of going, okay, well, why are people having so much problem shifting with her? And so in this process, there's a lot of updates for structures that read frequency, like the thymus has to update. And the thymus is a key immune structure. It's also about self-love. It also has a big interplay with like this multi-dimensional communication. But it's almost like we're not reading the new frequency. And if we can't read the new frequency, we're out of alignment. And even like almost like vitamins and minerals, even their frequencies are almost a variation. And it's like we're out, like trying to access an outdated model. And again, when it comes to energetics, all of these things pose a problem. So I was kind of going, why can't we? And it was sort of talking to me around how at one point in time, we were in this co-union with the earth day in, day out, same as animals were, right? And again, we would shift and change with our environment. It's like we're losing that ability, because if you look at the fact we're not even in contact with the earth as much as we used to. We're in our homes. There's all of this high information at the level of mind, and our mind is what keeps us out of almost like that present time reality and connection. So often, most of the time, people are not even kind of here and now in a sense, because of lots of reasons, past traumas, a lot of things to do with neurological updates needing to take place. So it was talking to me. I've written, we used to be in connection all the time with the earth, like animals that are in contact obviously all the time with the earth. It's almost like we would notice the subtle shifts. Same as like the trees. The trees have their roots and they have that network, and these transfer information, sustenance, and sustain life. And it's just talking to me that we don't have this constant connection, especially in all of our daily pressures. Our mind is being bombarded with high frequencies that are not in alignment to cellular recovery. It's almost like the earth and us, it's almost like mother and child. And it's like we've become separate, and then it is the separateness that keeps us recycling outdated variations of self, of life, separation to divine structures that offer support, unity, and oneness. In order to update, we have to renew ourselves. Things to release. Human expansion is really soul's evolution. harmonization between the conscious and the unconscious, and harmonization between the ego's identity and the soul. And so I don't know, maybe some of you don't understand, why does the earth have all these kind of changes and shifts? I'm just going to read something about polarities to do with the earth. Maybe people aren't aware of that information. The Earth's magnetic field has alternated between periods of normal polarity and reverse polarity. So the poles actually shift over time. The Earth is like a bar magnet with north and south that represents opposing magnetic polarities. The flow of the Earth's liquid outer core produces a complicated magnetic field pattern that changes over time. The north and south poles are shifting, they always have, it's just what happens. The Earth's magnetic field is in continual flux, causing the location of the poles to gradually change over time. On average, pole reversal occurs every 300,000 years or so. The last flip occurred around 780,000 years ago. So it's almost like things are always shifting and changing. It's quite funny because we are meant to be in the state of perpetual change. It's evolution, it's how everything updates. But we almost get stuck and we get locked out of change for many, many reasons. And so we kind of stagnate to even being able to flow with new information and new energetics. And it's just talking to me about, it's symbolic of life, changing outdated structures, and yet often we don't even see this gradual decline. It's almost like things will shift gradually and we haven't even realized things have shifted. So I'm talking about the earth now, but it's also like in our life. It's almost like, even health can decline slowly and we didn't notice. It's like we're so caught up in other things. Relationships can change and we didn't even see these shifts or these slight signs along the way. So now I feel like I'm kind of digressing, but this whole session is to do with earth re-regulation, to be in alignment with this supportive, beautiful foundation that brings cellular recovery. It brings kind of like, she's designed to take our mental static and also recharge and replenish us. So, there's times you go on holiday and you feel that, especially maybe the beach or those kind of highly charged places, and it's almost like you're renewed because you're in that present time awareness and that connection, and you're kind of allowing those free flow energetics. So this session has a lot of elements. I'm just going to kind of read some of the elements of what I will be doing. It's about being in alignment with human expansion, which essentially means being in alignment to yourself and your divinity, higher spiritual reatonement, many areas of the divine soul blueprint I'll be looking at. I'll be looking at stifled energetics, releasing like contracts, vows, past lifetime harmonization, doing soul retrieval. Spiritual assignments unrecognized. Sometimes we have this future or this possibility or this potential and we have not stepped into it. It's like we're kind of negating our, I don't know, do I want to use the word destiny or fate, or what we're really here to experience in ourselves. There's some real key structures that I'll be updating because they are key in earth re-regulation. The thymus is a huge structure. It's to do with even monitoring frequency in the body. Again, it's, as I said, even like self-love and a number of other things to do with the immune system. I'll be looking at thyroid healing, so there'll be a big process for the thyroid. Adrenal recovery process. Again, when we are balanced, aligned, grounded in present moment, in contact with the earth, those things, our adrenals will help to re-regulate. Always entity interference, collective energetics, energy axles,